Hi and welcome back to another interesting video. Today we are going to talk about adjectives that we can use to describe people and describe their character. So in English, as in any other language, we use adjectives to describe certain characteristics of people. So in today's class we will see examples of people and their personality, and we will talk about how we can define their personality with an adjective. We will also talk about how we will learn how to describe people using different adjectives, as well as use adjectives and adverbs and just have a simple and a happy life. Because with adjectives and adverbs, you reduce the amount of words that you use in a sentence. So in this video we talk about different adjectives and combining that with the adverbs that you have already learned. It's a happy life. So let's begin. In the slide you can see a few words. I'm sure you can recognize a few adjectives immediately. For example, you can recognize someone who is selfish or unfriendly or even helpful. So there are many adjectives here, like down to earth, talented, arrogant, outgoing, disorganized, practical, generous, honest, selfish, competitive, creative, reliable, laid back, arrogant. Right? So these are a few adjectives that we will be talking about today. So each of these adjectives means something very special, and they describe the character of a person. So in this session what we're going to do is a little different. We will talk about adjectives, but we will use the TV series The Game of Thrones. I'm not sure how many of you have seen this series. It's a very popular series, now running to its last season. So we're going to talk about the characters from the series and describe their characters using adjectives. So in this slide, we talk about Daenerys Targaryen. She is one of the very popular characters of Game of Thrones. In general, I think that for her, winning is very important. She likes to win, and also she likes to get what she wants. So what kind of characters do you think she is? If I use when winning is important to you, that means that you are a competitive person. So if you see that her character is very competitive, and also when you want something, you always know how to get it, or you really like to get what you want, you're a very determined person. So the two adjectives that we can use to describe her personality or her character is competitive and determined. Think about some more adjectives that you can use. For the next slide, we have someone even more interesting. We have Jon Snow. His character is also very popular in the Game of Thrones, and as a character he has a mix of a lot of qualities. So when you can handle small problems well, means that you are very practical and down to earth, which means that you're a very humble person. When people can count on you, means that you are very helpful and you're very reliable. Also, when you never cheat, or you never steal, or you never do something bad in terms of dishonesty, you're a very honest person. So Jon Snow's character, as shown in the Game of Thrones, takes a lot from his dad, and I can describe him as practical, down to earth, helpful, reliable, as well as honest. So can you think of a few adjectives to describe him? The next character that we're going to talk about is Cersei Lannister. Now, she is known as the evil queen, right? She is known as someone who's very, very cunning. She's very intelligent as well, but she likes to always get her way, whether it's good or bad. Also, she doesn't get along with a lot of people. When you don't get along with a lot of people, you are unfriendly. And when you're not very sympathetic to others, which means you do not understand their situation, you're a very cruel or ruthless person, right? It means that you do what you want, regardless of whether it's good or it's bad. You just want to do whatever you want to do. So I would describe her as unfriendly and cruel. Maybe you can come up with some more adjectives to describe her. Now the next character is a very friendly character. This character was in the Game of Thrones in the first few seasons, and he was a friend of Jon Snow. As a character, when you like to have fun with people, you're very easygoing. You're an easygoing person. You also say that the person is very laid back or relaxed when the person likes to have fun in life, right? When you're relaxed about life, you can also say that you are friendly when you make friends with people or when people like you. People who trust you very easily, or people can trust you very easily, it also means that you are very trustworthy. Okay? So the three adjectives that I think I can use to describe Samuel Tarly is easygoing, he's laid back, he's friendly, and also trustworthy. Because in the Game of Thrones, he was able to win Jon Snow's trust. Okay? Now the next one that we see is the famous sister of Jon Snow, Sansa Stark. So throughout the series, you see her as a very shy person as well, but you also see her as someone who's very generous. So what does generous mean? Generous means that when you're able to give your time, your money to people, and you do it without anything in return. You do it without expecting anything in return. So people who do a lot of charity, they're very generous as well. You can also say that when a person does things very well and in a different way, they're very creative. As well as when you are extremely confident as a person, you are very courageous and you're very brave, which means you will do the right thing even if it means that some people may or may not like you. That's about Sansa Stark. Maybe you can think about a few words to describe her character as well. The next one that we see was one of the most hated characters of Game of Thrones. His name is Peter Baelish, or Lord Baelish as they used to call him. When you think that you are the best, you are sometimes someone who is arrogant or someone who's like a narcissist. So they think that they are the best and no one else is better than them. When you also hide your real motives for doing something, when you hide your real emotions and you do something, you are also known as a very cunning person. Cunning is another word for hiding your real motives for doing things. Similarly, when you do always think about your own benefit and you always do things for your own self, you don't really think about others, you're known as a very selfish person. So a selfish person will always do things on their own, for their own. They don't care about other people. Now the next character is the character of Arya Stark. She is the youngest daughter of Ned Stark, and very early on you can see that she was never really relaxed around people. She always wanted to be with her family. So as a person, as a character, her character is really shy, but people can always count on her to do things right. Hence, she is pretty reliable. And to note a character that is of loyal or loyalty, when a person is always showing support to a person, another person or institution, they're very loyal to them. For example, if you support a particular organization, maybe a charity organization, or you support your country, you are loyal to your country. So what I want you to do is think about a few more adjectives. These are adjectives used to describe people in general. You can use other adjectives like soft, a person is very difficult, or a person is very late usually. The person is not very outgoing, he is very reserved. The person is very unhappy, they are dishonest. So a few words take opposites as well. For example, happy, the opposite would be unhappy. Honest, the opposite would be dishonest, and so on. So what I want you to do now in this activity or in this week's activity is this, that I want you to think of other characters and adjectives that you use to describe them. So you can use either one adjective to describe different characters, or you can use different adjectives to describe different people as well. So the activity goes as follows. You have to talk about your favorite character from a TV series or a movie and use at least 4 adjectives to describe your favorite character. Remember that you have to use a few adjectives that I've used in the video, and then you can also talk about characters that you like personally. So I chose the Game of Thrones. You can use any other TV series, something that I see in the something that I can immediately think of is Stranger Things or Breaking Bad, or you can say The Walking Dead. You have a lot of series that people watch on YouTube or watch on Netflix. You can use your favorite and talk about the characters using at least 4 adjectives. Okay, that's the activity number 2 for this week, and I will see you soon in the class. I hope you have a great time. See you all next time. Bye bye.